Hey guys, Looter here, and welcome to my Rumble guide for Season 8. Let's get started. Just to give you a little insight about myself, I've mained Rumble since Season 2, and I'm one of the most experienced Rumble players in the world. I'm the only Rumble main with a media presence, so most of the Rumble montages you may find on YouTube are probably going to be of me. I stream every weekday on Twitch and hope that one day I'll be able to do this full time. But for now, enjoy my free guide on how to smash your opponents as the Mechanized Menace. Let's start with the basics. Rumble is a manaless AP bruiser that can either be played in top lane, mid lane, or jungle. Rumble's pros are that he does not use mana, so he can spam his abilities and out-sustain most champions in lane. Rumble has a great teamfighting ultimate that can really equalize the game. His cons are that he is hard to farm with and does not scale well into the late game. The Sorcery Primary and Resolve Secondary are great runes for Rumble. They work in just about every matchup top lane, so I recommend taking these. As far as mid lane goes, if you have a really aggressive playstyle, you can try out Electrocute with Sorcery Secondary. And if you have a winning matchup and a tendency to roam, Celerity and Waterwalking are great secondary runes to take. On the screen now, I'll be showing Rumble's passive, along with his abilities. Feel free to pause at any moment to read through them more thoroughly. Unlike every other champion in the game, Rumble is the only champion that uses heat. Heat management is the most important thing you'll have to practice as a Rumble player. This is something that both beginners and advanced players must practice and focus on, because it can be the difference between dying like a noob.
You getting shit on by Rumble? Come on, what you get? First timer in here? First timer? Part timer? Fuck, of course. Well, that wasn't too impressive.
Or smashing your opponents like a pro. The general rule of thumb when thinking about Rumble's heat is you want to keep it around 40 to 50% so that you can get all the additional bonuses the danger zone, that little yellow bar, has to offer. When in the danger zone, his Q does an additional 150% damage, the W also gets an additional 50% shield and move speed, and your E gets 50% more damage and slow. Try to remember that Rumble's Q and W cost 20 heat and E cost 10 heat. Thus, if you're at 0 heat and hit all 3 abilities at once, you'll reach that golden number of 50. Your ultimate ability, however, is not affected by how much heat you have as long as you're not overheated. Which brings us to my next point, when to effectively overheat. Don't be scared to overheat. Overheating has incredible benefits when you're about to trade or all-in someone. Overheating lasts about 6 seconds, which also happens to be the length of your cooldowns after level 9, so regardless if you're going to overheat or not, your abilities will be on cooldown as long as you're using them properly. Here are some examples of me overheating properly and using it to my advantage. Notice as I all-in Jace, I use my empowered auto attacks to finish him off. A few moments later, the enemy bot lane comes to gank me, but using heat management, I'm able to overheat on Tristana, finish her off with my empowered auto attacks, then continue my focus onto Karma, and finish her off. And when you overheat, like this, as long as you shoot an E first, you have time to shoot a second E after you overheat, like that. shoot a second E if you want. Zhonya's, do whatever you want. It's all good. A quick tip to get to lane faster as Rumble is to do the E, Q, then W while in Fountain, then spamming W on the way to lane. It doesn't make a huge difference, but you might be able to get a few extra CS. Rumble's build will vary depending on the game. However, in most games you will be building these core items shown on the left. As far as the other items go shown on the right, if you want more damage, you can go Void Staff or Rabadons, but if you need some CC for your team, go Rylai's, or healing reduction, go Morello's. Use Q to harass your opponent behind your own minions, and try and save your W for when you're about to trade with your opponents so that you're able to block the enemy's damage. Your E can be used to either poke your opponent or safely farm from behind. Here, I'm able to solo kill box by getting a level 6 advantage along with overheating with E and Q. Just like that. When you're looking to all-in someone, a good way of doing it is to blow all your abilities at the end of your heat. By doing so, when your overheat's done, all your abilities will come up off cooldown at the same time. One of the downsides of Rumble is that he is hard to farm with, and against ranged matchups you can get punished for farming very easily. The best advice I have is to W in just before you approach the last hit, so that you can shield any harass you might face when facing a ranged matchup. Last hitting on Rumble will take time to practice, so I suggest going into a custom game and practice last hitting with Q on, just to get used to the strange sensation of farming while fire is shooting all around you. Now it may sound obvious, but during teamfights, you're going to want to hit as many people as you can with your equalizer. However, hitting as many people as you can may not always mean placing it where people are, but rather where they're going to be. If you have the mindset that your ultimate can be used as a sort of terrain, then you'll start to be able to see great opportunities to shut off exits with your ult so that the enemy is either forced to walk through your ult, or walk into you and your team. In this clip here, I'm able to get a fantastic flank onto the enemy team. Instead of putting my ult down immediately, I'm able to ult across the lane so that it hits all 5 people and they're all forced to walk through it. We're able to end the game off that ace. Remember, equalizers don't just equalize the game, they can end them as well. Though Rumble isn't typically the person to engage in a fight, you have a really good engage tool with the combination of your R and Zhonya's. If you can get in the middle of your fight and Q Zhonya's and R as many people as you can, your team might just clean up in time before your Zhonya's expires. It might just work. As a Rumble, you're always going to want to use your sustain and shove potential to create leads against your opponents. Once you get your core items, you can look to shove in the wave in your lane and look for good roam and gank opportunities across the map. Because you can be so versatile with your items, always build what is best for your team and not just for yourself. I hope you enjoyed my Rumble guide. If you have any questions, please feel free to leave a comment on this video and I'll be sure to reply. If you did enjoy the video, please leave a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. I also stream nearly every day over at twitch.tv/officiallooter, so be sure to stop by to say hello sometime. Hey guys, Looter here. Thank you so much for watching my guide. Hope you learned a thing or two. I'm out. Hope you all have a wonderful day. Don't know how to end videos. I'm gonna keep rambling until you leave, just cause I don't know why you're still here. Either click on this video, subscribe, follow, leave. Video's over. You can go home now. Okay, black screen. Well, I guess goodbye.